So many versions of this story have happened in the past. Let's see which one comes up today. So for a long time in the life of this person, there seemed to be no belief in the concept of God. And there was this thought which was believed, which was that all that don't have faith in themselves have invented this concept of God just because they are scared. That they need something to rely on, therefore they have invented this concept of God. And then some experiences happened where I came across some being who was able to foretell the future. He was an astrologer, he was very accurate with foretelling the future. And at the same time, a lot of suffering was coming up in life. So with that, what happened is, I came across this book called Autobiography of a Yogi, because life created some openness. So first this book appeared, Sri Paramahansa Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi, and it had some deep impact. But if I were to look at it now, I'm not sure what was it that so deeply affected me then. But in reading Autobiography of a Yogi, something was there about learning Kriya Yoga and doing some Kriya type practices, and that led me. So he was Sri Paramahansa Yogananda. In Bangalore there is a master called Sri Ravi Shankar, so who teaches something called the Sudarshan Kriya. So I found that when I came to know about this was in 97 or 98 most likely, and when I came to know about this Sri coincidence and the Kriya similarity, I felt that I must go and try this. So went to the Art of Living, learned the Sudarshan Kriya, and all the yogic practices actually helped in some way, because it gave some space here for some contemplation to happen. But what happened is, and I know we are running out of time, so we'll have a quick version of the story. But what happened is, there was a lot of interest in the Art of Living here, and did many courses and programs with the Art of Living, with the ultimate goal which seemed like to become a teacher of the Art of Living. But life of course had other plans, and a lot of suffering arose because of some life events. Things happened where a lot of suffering actually arose. And with grace there was this question which said, if you know so much and you are so good at practices and you are so spiritually evolved, then how can it be that suffering still continues? And with that question, the entire framework of the spiritual ego just collapsed actually. Because I realized that I did not know anything at all. It was all just concepts that I was parroting, that were heard from others. I was just a parrot. Just parroting. And then with grace I came across Bhagwan's book, Be As You Are, and at similar time, I'm not sure what is the sequence actually, but Nisargadatta's I Am That. And I Am That actually had a very profound effect. It was a very frustrating experience also initially, because I just could not understand. Many times when he would say the sense I am, be with the I amness, all these terms just would not make any sense at all. Then in looking for a teacher, I looked for a student of his, because I knew that Nisargadatta Maharaj had left the body. So I looked for a student of his, and I found Ramesh Bhatsekar. So for a few years, anytime I was in Mumbai, I would visit Ramesh. And Ramesh, as you know, speaks a lot about non-dualship. He used to speak a lot about non-dualship. but something was still not completely clear. And when I was looking for disciples of Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi, then I came across these names, Papaji, then Lakshmana Swami, and there was a desire to meet somebody from that lineage. So when I went to Thiru for the first time, there was a feeling that I would like to meet Lakshmana Swami, and by then I'd seen all of Mooji's videos on YouTube, but there was no feeling that this one is going to be my Guru. So when I went to Thiru, it was mostly to do a lot of spiritual shopping actually, to meet all the masters over there in Thiru. And as grace would have it, I saw Mooji first. It's a long story. I was late for Satsang, I was waiting down, and then I saw him come down the stairs. And as he was coming down the stairs, this strong feeling came over me that I have come home, that my life is his problem now and everything will be taken care of. This strong feeling came, and I gave him a hug, and it was a short meeting. And then I always believed that next day I went up to him on the hot seat actually. But if you look at the dates now, you realize that one day went in the middle and I have no recollection of what happened on that day. There is no recollection of that day or what happened in Satsang or any of that. I just remember that when I landed up on the hot seat, in looking at his eyes, all that was spoken and was just an intellectual understanding earlier was seen to be completely true. The person had completely dissolved, and all there was this oneness and pure love that was being transmitted from his eyes, and all sense of separation vanished. This is what was happening internally while you see me doing all the crying and laughter all happening at the same time in the video. So that is what happened. And then after that, Mooji just adopted me. Mooji just adopted me, and it just has gone on like this very naturally in its own flow. And there was no feeling here, very strong feeling that I must do satsang or this should happen. In fact, we wanted to do video satsangs with Mooji. In fact, that's how it started in Bangalore. That we started doing fortnightly DVD satsangs here. We started doing this fortnightly DVD satsangs, and it just happened that his presence was so strongly felt in those DVD satsangs, and then these beautiful beings started coming, Ram and Jyotika and Amrita, Om would log in online. So these beautiful beings started coming, and for some reason they started asking me questions. And usually I was not very open to answering, but for them, just these answers also seemed to flow. So when these answers used to flow, and I could also feel the Master's presence so strongly here, then I wrote to Mooji and said that this is what seems to be happening. So he said that I must share. Grace is using this body-mind very well now, and the sharing must continue like this. And he said one phrase in the mail where he said that we must bring more beings into this Sangha of being. And I felt that that is a very beautiful name for this Sangha. So this name Sangha of being comes from there. Because there was not this strong motivation to call it Ananta Sangha. There was no feeling to name it like that. It was just seeming like Mooji's prasad in some way. And that's how this whole thing happened this way. Thank you so much. Thank you.